Even though I did talk about this in the industrial uh, aspect, this is also considered a support ship. I did talk about how the Crucible can be found at the rear of a naval operation, at the very back of a fleet, repairing ships and sending them into battle. So I'm not going to go into more detail about that. It's just that the ship has really big functionality when it comes down to industry and support. So you will see this ship a lot when it comes down to the fleet operations, and of course, like things like salvage and mining, because of course that equipment has to be repaired from time to time. So no more time on this. I'm going to zip right along to the next aspect of support. Of course, I'm going to mention the Starfarer. What other refueling platform is there? I mean, it is the Starfarer. That's it. This is going to be seen everywhere. It can run cargo. It can refuel. It can refine. I mean, it's a priceless, invaluable ship. You're going to see this either this one or the Gemini at the back of a fleet. You can include this with an expeditionary force that that has a pioneer in it, so they can set up outposts, whatever. Or you can include a Starfarer with exploration force. Say you have quite a few exploratory ships, and they have some probe ships or scout ships to go along with them, and you have a Starfarer to fly along and keep them refueled, which will which could literally allow them to go even further into deep space. So on to the next one. Okay, so now we're moving into the less talked about subject, medical. Medical is right along with the science aspect, and I probably should have included science and industry, but I kind of look at science as more or less of looking at cures and little tinctures and patching people up. Um, of course, you could use science to find ways of new propulsion, that kind of thing. But with this, you have a really cool, I call it a unilateral kind of career, because in this career you can not only just fly along with the fleet or whatever and heal them and all that kind of stuff, but you can also go into search and rescue, where you can use deep space scanners to find ships in distress. Go out there and get the information to a rescue force or whatever, or actually go out there yourself and help patch the people up who may have been injured in combat or whatever, or injured because of some kind of bad accident on their ship. This is a really cool kind of career where you can do research, find cures for diseases. I don't know if that'll be. I don't know if those will be missions in game or whatever. But I mean, the possibilities are pretty wide open, and you can do a lot of stuff, especially if you have a ship that's really specialized, like the Endeavor. This is another ship that I would like to get in game. This one has so many things that it can do. It's also a medical ship. It can be a primary a hospital ship that flies along with the military fleet. It can also research hydroponics, like growing plant life, that kind of thing. It can find medical cures. It can research viruses and bacterium, that sort of thing. And of course, it can research new power sources, that kind of thing. But for me, medical is not just curing people or treating injuries. It's such a wide gambit of different things. It could also be checking atmospheric conditions for breathable atmosphere, like oxygen and nitrogen, hydrogen, that kind of thing. So I mean, you have if you have a medical ship, you have a very valuable a much needed uh, asset. Also, moreover, if you think about it, well, most folks, most pirate players or aggressive players, they probably won't care about that. But you also are better yet, you're better off alive, because they could capture your ship and use you to help their people, or you could be the Achilles heel, right? They take you out, folks can't get healed, they'll die off. So you gotta think about those kind of things too. But the medical career is it lucrative? Yeah, yeah. I can see a whole lot of money with that. I mean, because that goes like hand in hand with so many different ways. Like, say in industry, right? Say there's a mining accident, and you have a Cutlass Red. You can fly right over there to the Orion or to the prospector and you know tend to the pilots and the workers whatever right there on the spot. Or if there's an exploration ship or something and what if they contracted some kind of alien disease, well they can't cure it there. Even on the Carrack, the Carrack is also another cool ship that has a medical facility, but they may not be able to find a cure there. What if you have some, like if you have the Endeavor, which is a dedicated science platform, you could definitely find a cure to that alien virus. So medical careers are greatly needed, and I expect to see a lot of missions, medical-oriented missions, in the future in Star Citizen. So with that said, I'm going to move on to the last part of this. That will be command and control. Now, command and control is basically self-explanatory. You are commanding, you're flying a ship that has advanced scanners that are strong enough to see long distances and to evaluate various assets far off in the distance or in real time. So, this is primarily for like, I mean, it's mostly for combat purposes, but again, you could also use this command and control for peacetime as well. Let's just say you have a lot of people roaming around on a planet, exploring and scouting out and stuff. So if you have a CNC ship, either landed nearby or flying overhead, it can easily monitor all the activity on that planet or whichever area that you're checking out. But that way you can keep a track of everybody and you know where they are. And you may also know what's going on with them. So you have other ships that are besides the tracker that you can use for CNC because they're well equipped with scanners and they also come with scout ships themselves. You know, like the Aquila and of course the Carrack. The Carrack it was also designed to be a military ship. So it's a military ship that's been commissioned to civilian use. So the Carrack is very, very capable as a command and control ship. So command and control in the combat aspect, you're going to have one of these ships in the rear of the action. You do not want these ships fighting and defending. No, you want them all the way outside at the rear of the action, at the rear of the fleet, either moving around the perimeter or someplace stationary off, off the grid where people won't readily detect them. And what they're doing is they're monitoring all activity, not just enemy activity. They're monitoring all the assets in real time. They can let you know if there is a torpedo inbound toward one of your capital ships, or they'll let you know if one of your larger ships, like an Idris or even a Javelin, have been destroyed, or they'll let you know if there's another enemy fleet inbound. These ships are also major targets. So you want to make sure that you, one, have a well-armed ship, namely, like I said, a Carrack or even a Hornet, because the Hornet tracker is very small and it can bug out in case someone says, "Hey, there's somebody monitoring us." The tracker's got speed; it can get the heck out of Dodge, and yet still keep a track of the enemy. So command and control is really, really cool. It's primarily a combat role, so it could be thrown into combat roles, of course, but again, like I said, it can be for peacetime. It can also, what if you're an organization and you have multiple prospectors mining an area? Hope so. It's just a whole lot of small ships to keep a track of, right? Well, you could post a Hornet tracker somewhere nearby that watches all of your prospectors and gives you real-time data on where they're located. Or, and what if you're mining or something and then the vandal catches wind of that and they're sending in a raid to get a hold of you? Well, that CNC ship's gonna be the first guy to know. They'll say, "Hey guys, we got an inbound. It's time to bail." So would this be a good career? I would probably make this a part-time career. It wouldn't be good to do, command and control all the time because I really don't see a whole lot of money in it. But you will get paid good when you do it. But full-time, nah, I don't really see that as a full-time. I'll see this as a kind of like a side hustle, you know, something to make extra money, to supplement uh, anything else that you're doing. So let's say if you're a combat pilot, well, having a CNC on the side, that's a good compliment, So you have your combat aspect, and then you have a command and control ship on the side, where while your combat ships are being repaired, or you're waiting for your insurance claim to mature, you can use a command and control ship, go back out there and make some extra money, to help pay for the repairs. So there you go. That's command and control is great. It's a great little racket to do on the side, and you'd be surprised at what ships can actually fill that role. Like I said, the Aquila, the Carrack. Um, what other ship would I think? I would probably any ship that has great armor and really strong scanners, because that's the big thing you want with a command and control ship is strong, powerful, long range scanners. Could a 315P maybe be a CNC ship? Maybe. It's got the deep space scanners for it. Would a Terrapin uh, work as a CNC ship? I would think so. I think a Terrapin would make a great CNC ship, considering that it's well armored and of course it has long range scanners. So there you go. I mean, it's a support is a support role is a great kind of career, and it can be lucrative. And depending on what your play style is, there's definitely something that you can do that you'll have fun doing. So with that, I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm going to move on to the next aspect, and I'll check you guys later.